I think the thing that gave me most joy and continues to give me great joy is the celebration of the Eucharist. Celebration of the Eucharist particularly, and the other sacraments as well, but everything centers on the Eucharist, the power of the Eucharist, the Lord, meeting people, helping people celebrate, helping people grieve too, I think is something that's a really important part of the things that I've done.
What made me joyful and happy that I will be ministering to the poor, the sick, and the elderly, and also enjoyed baptizing babies and little children. Oftentimes I'll be carrying the children when I'm doing the baptism because children never cry with me, even colicky babies.
What surprised me the most when I first took on the role of coordinator was the humanity behind each priest that I came across. Often as lay people, when we attend Mass, what we don't see is the person afterwards. As they age, just like we do, we don't see them with their ailments. Having been in this role for many years, I saw the vulnerability, the fear. What's going to happen to me when I retire? What's going to happen to me when I become ill? Who's going to be there for me?
So the Shepherd's Trust was founded 25 years ago to provide for our diocesan priests, to supplement their limited Canada pension, and to make sure that their health benefits and long-term benefits were also looked after. For diocesan priests, the transition to retirement is a big one. Throughout their lives, they're provided with accommodation, room and board in a rectory. When they retire, it's a transition to finding their own accommodation, furnishing that accommodation, and actually feeding themselves for the first time in many of their lives. In 1990s, costs escalated in the GTA, even then, and there was concern that what we were offering retired priests, combined with their limited CPP, was not enough.
For a lot of the priests, though, it's just the way, the only way they can live from day to day is if they have that financial support. What it does for me, though, is it allows me to choose whatever I want to do.
Through the generosity of the fundraising part of the Shepherd's Trust, one of the things I was very proud of was the Shepherd's Trust Retired Priest Club. Sometimes we had speakers come in, sometimes they spoke amongst themselves. They renewed their friendships with priests that they hadn't seen in many years. One of our monthly meetings that I am most proud of was our Easter Vigil. The Easter Vigil we held here at Blessed Sacrament. Blessed Sacrament is also the club location. We had our meetings downstairs in the hall. But during our Easter Vigil, if you can imagine, I had these elderly priests, some able-bodied, some in wheelchairs, some in walkers. Each one of them would go from station to station to pray. If there wasn't anything so magical and so wonderful to see these men in their later years of life, over the age of 75, where their ministry was still so very important to them that they could go and recite their prayers at each station. For me, it was the most beautiful and warming part of my ministry with the Archdiocese.
The creation of the Shepherd Trust 25 years ago was an excellent idea because it's important to look after the retired priests who give their life and time to serve us for many years. And some of us work for 50 years, and priests never retire actually. After we retire, we still work. We still do baptisms, and we do masses, we do funerals, We visit the sick and also visit the hospitals and nursing homes. And also we answer the phone all the time. We do counseling also.
I'm invited sometimes to celebrate on a weekend or to preach or during the week sometimes. And also I'm invited sometimes to hear confession.
Certainly the gospel would remind us that we care for those in need. And when we started the Shepherd's Trust, there was a great need among our retired priests. They were not being paid at an adequate level for them to have a sustained living. And that is not what we want for any of our people.
I see them flourish because they're not afraid of being left alone. They're not afraid that they don't have the money to not be able to pay for their rent or to be able to buy food. The trust was a wonderful idea that grew and blossomed because as a community we realized the needs of the priests and people supported it. Now, 25 years later, people are still supporting it because everybody sees the needs and it's a wonderful thing that's happening. I'm very proud of it. Happy anniversary, the Shepherd's Trust.